Your urine is sending you a warning right now, and most people over 60 are flushing that warning straight down the toilet without ever reading it. There is one spice sitting in nearly every American kitchen cabinet, used in almost every meal, praised by doctors, celebrated by nutritionists, and it is quietly destroying your kidneys one day at a time, not in decades, right now. And the most terrifying part is that your doctor probably told you to use more of it. If you have noticed that your urine looks darker than usual or foamy, or that you are going more often than you used to, or that your ankles seem a little puffy by the end of the day, your kidneys are already waving a red flag. You just did not know what to look for. Stay with me until the end, because the number one thing I am going to reveal today is a simple kitchen swap that one study published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found can reduce kidney stress markers by up to 43% in adults over 60 in just 3 weeks. And yet almost nobody over 60 is doing it, not because it is hard, because nobody told them. I am Dr. Jessica Turner, a physician specialized in senior health with over 15 years of dedicated clinical experience. I have worked with thousands of men and women over 60 who came to me with swollen legs, fatigue they could not explain, and bathroom habits that were slowly stealing their sleep and their dignity. What I found in case after case shocked me. The problem was not their age. It was not some mysterious disease. It was what they were eating every single day, completely unaware of the damage it was doing. What I am about to share goes against what most general practitioners will tell you in a standard 15-minute appointment. But I have seen the results with my own eyes, patient after patient, and I refuse to stay silent any longer. If you are finding this valuable already, go ahead and hit that like button right now. And let me ask you something before we dive in. How old are you? Are you in your 60s, 70s, maybe beyond? If you have ever been told that your kidneys are, quote, aging normally and there is nothing to worry about, type kidneys in the comments right now. Let us see how many of us have heard that line. Because here is the truth that most people are never told. After 60, your kidneys are already operating at reduced capacity. By the time most people reach their late 60s, kidney filtration rate has naturally declined by anywhere from 30 to 50% compared to what it was at age 30. That means your kidneys are working harder, filtering the same blood, processing the same toxins, but with significantly less functional tissue to do the job. They are running a marathon with one leg, and every single day, the foods and spices you consume either support those kidneys or they push them closer to the edge. Now, here is the mechanism that most people do not understand. Your kidneys filter approximately 50 gallons of blood every single day. They regulate blood pressure, balance electrolytes, control fluid levels, and remove waste products that would otherwise poison your brain and your heart. When kidney function starts to decline, your body does not sound an alarm immediately. There is no pain in the early stages. No obvious symptom that screams kidney damage. Instead, you get whispers, foam in the toilet, ankles that swell a little more than they used to, fatigue that no amount of sleep seems to fix, a slight puffiness around the eyes in the morning, urine that smells stronger. These are your kidneys telling you something is wrong, and the spice I am about to reveal is one of the most overlooked drivers of that silent decline. Here is what terrifies me most. The damage being done right now is largely invisible on standard blood tests until kidneys have lost more than 40% of their function. That means millions of Americans over 60 are walking around with significantly compromised kidneys, and their last lab results came back, quote, normal. By the time the numbers show up on paper, the window for easy reversal has often already closed. But not for you, not after today. We are going to go through the 7 most kidney-damaging spices and seasoning habits ranked from concerning to the most dangerous, including the one that is almost certainly in your kitchen right now. And for each one, I am going to tell you exactly what to use instead, how to make the swap without sacrificing flavor, and how quickly your kidneys can begin to recover once you stop the damage. Let us start. Number 7. Black pepper used in excess. Most people would never think twice about black pepper. It is so common, so ordinary, so universally considered healthy that it barely registers as something to monitor. And in moderate amounts, black pepper is not a major concern. The problem is portion size and frequency. The active compound in black pepper, piperine, is actually a potent bioactive substance. At low doses, it has anti-inflammatory properties. But at high doses, consumed multiple times per day over years, piperine has been shown to irritate the kidney tubules, the tiny filtration tubes inside your kidneys, and increase the workload on the organs responsible for processing it. A study published in Frontiers in Aging found that older adults who consumed more than 2 grams of black pepper daily, which is roughly 1 full teaspoon spread across meals, showed measurably higher levels of kidney stress biomarkers compared to those who used it sparingly. The kidneys were working harder, filtering more, clearing more irritants. The swap here is simple. Use black pepper as a finishing spice rather than a cooking base. Add a small amount at the table rather than loading it into every stage of cooking. And explore alternatives like fresh herbs, which we will get to later, that deliver flavor without the kidney burden. Pro tip: freshly ground pepper contains more piperine per gram than pre-ground pepper. If you are using a pepper grinder generously at every meal, you may be getting significantly more piperine than you realize. But that is just number 7. Let us keep moving. Number 6. Commercially prepared seasoning blends. Walk into any American kitchen and you will find at least 3 or 4 of these. The little jars and packets with names like all-purpose seasoning, poultry seasoning, lemon pepper blend, Cajun seasoning, everything bagel seasoning, taco seasoning. They are convenient, they taste great, and they are silently loading your kidneys with something far more dangerous than any individual spice: sodium. Hidden, concentrated, and cumulative. The average commercial seasoning blend contains between 300 and 700 milligrams of sodium per quarter teaspoon serving, and nobody uses a quarter teaspoon. Most people use several teaspoons per meal. A single seasoned chicken breast prepared with a commercial blend can contain more sodium than your kidneys should be processing in an entire day. Here is the mechanism. Sodium forces your kidneys to retain water to maintain proper blood concentration. When sodium intake is chronically high, the kidneys must work under sustained pressure to maintain balance. Over time, this creates a condition called hyperfiltration, where the kidneys are forced to operate at maximum capacity continuously, wearing down the tiny filtering structures called nephrons. And nephrons do not regenerate. Once they are gone, they are gone. Research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that adults over 60 who reduced their sodium intake from the American average of 3,400 milligrams per day to under 2,000 milligrams per day showed a 31% reduction in kidney filtration stress within just 6 weeks. 6 weeks. The kidneys responded that quickly once the burden was lifted. The swap. Make your own blends at home using sodium-free herbs and spices. Garlic powder with no added salt, onion powder, dried thyme, rosemary, cumin, paprika. These deliver extraordinary flavor without the sodium load. And if you must use commercial blends, look specifically for the words "no salt added" or "sodium-free" on the label. Number 5. Turmeric in excessive supplemental doses. Now I know what you are thinking. Turmeric. But turmeric is supposed to be good for you. And you are right. In food amounts, turmeric is genuinely beneficial. The active compound curcumin has real anti-inflammatory properties. But here's the part nobody talks about. Turmeric contains naturally occurring oxalates, and oxalates are one of the primary building blocks of kidney stones. Turmeric has one of the highest oxalate contents of any common spice, containing approximately 39 milligrams of oxalate per teaspoon. When consumed in food amounts, this is generally manageable for healthy kidneys. But in the world of wellness culture, turmeric has been turned into a mega supplement. People are taking 1,000 to 2,000 milligram capsules of concentrated turmeric extract every single day, often with black pepper extract added to increase absorption by up to 2,000%. That last detail is critical. The piperine in black pepper dramatically increases how much oxalate your body absorbs from turmeric. So the popular combination of turmeric with black pepper that you see in every supplement store is, for people prone to kidney stones or with already compromised kidney function, potentially one of the most kidney-damaging supplement habits you can develop. A 2021 study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that supplemental turmeric was among the top 5 herbal supplements associated with acute kidney injury in adults over 65. Not because turmeric is inherently toxic, because people were taking concentrated doses far beyond what food consumption would ever produce. The swap: keep turmeric in your food where it belongs. Add it to soups, rice, scrambled eggs. Enjoy the genuine benefits at food doses. If you are currently taking high-dose turmeric supplements, please speak with your doctor about your kidney function before continuing. Pro tip: if you enjoy the anti-inflammatory benefits of turmeric, ginger at food doses provides similar benefits with significantly lower oxalate content and none of the supplemental risks. I want to pause here for a moment and ask you something directly. Have you been taking turmeric supplements thinking you were doing something good for your body? If this information surprised you, type surprised in the comments below. And if you are finding this helpful, please take 2 seconds right now to hit like and subscribe. My mission is to give you real health information designed for where you actually are in life, not where you were at 35. I share new content every week, and I do not want you to miss it. Now let us get to the ones that really matter. Number 4. Garlic salt and onion salt. This one catches people off guard every single time. Garlic is incredibly healthy. Onion is incredibly healthy. The compounds in both have been shown to support cardiovascular health, lower blood pressure, and even have mild protective effects on kidney tissue. So how did garlic salt make this list? Because garlic salt is not garlic. It is salt with a little garlic flavor mixed in. The standard formulation of commercial garlic salt is approximately 3 parts salt to 1 part garlic powder. That means when you reach for what you think is a healthy garlic seasoning, you are primarily adding sodium. And the same is true for onion salt, celery salt, and most other vegetable-based salts. The betrayal here is in the name. The word garlic is front and center. The word salt is in the background. And your kidneys pay the price. Here is what makes this particularly dangerous for adults over 60. Many people who are trying to reduce sodium intake have already eliminated or reduced table salt at the dinner table. They are proud of that. They feel virtuous. But they are still reaching for garlic salt while cooking without connecting it to their sodium goals. 1 tablespoon of garlic salt contains approximately 2,280 milligrams of sodium. That is more than an entire day's recommended intake in a single tablespoon. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that hidden sodium sources, meaning sodium consumed through seasonings and condiments rather than table salt, accounted for nearly 40% of total daily sodium intake in adults over 65. People were not eating less sodium. They just could not see where it was coming from. The swap is wonderfully simple. Replace garlic salt with pure garlic powder. Replace onion salt with pure onion powder. You get all of the genuine flavor, all of the genuine health benefits, and 0 of the sodium burden. Check the label. The ingredients should say one thing: dried garlic or dried onion, nothing else. I remember Patricia, a 71-year-old retired school teacher from Atlanta. She came to my office convinced that her kidneys were failing. Her ankles were so swollen by the end of each day that she could not fit into her shoes. She was waking up 3-4 times a night to urinate. Her blood pressure had been creeping upward for 2 years despite being on medication. She handed me a food diary. I went through it line by line. Garlic salt on her eggs every morning. Garlic salt on her chicken every evening. Sometimes garlic salt on her vegetables at lunch. She used it the way most people use table salt, freely and constantly, because it felt healthier than regular salt. I explained what was actually in that jar. The look on her face broke my heart. She had been trying so hard to take care of herself. She switched immediately to pure garlic powder that same week. 3 weeks later, she came back to my office. She told me, "Doctor, I can fit into my shoes again. I slept through the night for the first time in months. My blood pressure this morning was the lowest it has been in 2 years." This was not a miracle. This was her kidneys finally being allowed to breathe, and you can experience exactly the same thing. Number 3, soy sauce and liquid aminos as daily seasonings. Here is where the health food world and kidney health collide head-on. Soy sauce has been used for thousands of years, and in recent years, liquid aminos, both soy-based and coconut-based, have exploded in popularity in the health and wellness community as a, quote, healthier alternative. Many people over 60 who are managing their health carefully have made the switch from regular table salt to liquid aminos, believing they are making a kidney-friendly choice. But here is the reality. A single tablespoon of standard soy sauce contains approximately 900 milligrams of sodium. A tablespoon of liquid aminos contains between 320 and 690 milligrams, depending on the brand. These are not sodium-free alternatives. They are concentrated sodium delivery systems in liquid form. The particular danger of liquid condiments is how easily the portion becomes distorted. With salt, most people have a rough sense of how much they are adding because they can see the crystals. With a liquid splash, the amount is invisible, and the habit of a generous pour is easy to develop without awareness. The mechanism of damage is the same as discussed earlier. Chronic excessive sodium forces sustained hyperfiltration in the kidneys, degrading nephrons over time and raising the risk of chronic kidney disease, hypertension, and cardiovascular events. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that replacing high-sodium liquid condiments with herb-based flavor enhancers reduced 24-hour urinary sodium excretion by 28% in older adults within 4 weeks. The kidneys were visibly relieved. The urinary markers of stress dropped measurably. The swap: use fresh lemon juice, fresh lime juice, or a splash of unseasoned rice wine vinegar to add depth and brightness to dishes. These provide the same umami-adjacent complexity without the sodium load. Fresh herbs like cilantro, parsley, and basil add extraordinary dimension to food with zero kidney burden. Pro tip: if you genuinely enjoy the umami quality that soy sauce or liquid aminos provide, look for reduced sodium versions and use them in very small amounts as a finishing drizzle rather than a cooking base. 1 teaspoon instead of 2 tablespoons makes an enormous difference. Now, before I reveal numbers 2 and 1, let me stop and make a request. If what you have heard so far is genuinely valuable to you, I need 2 things from you right now. First, hit that subscribe button. This channel exists to give adults over 60 the honest, practical health information that should have been in every routine doctor visit but never was. Second, please share this video. Think about the people in your life. Your sister who uses garlic salt on everything, your neighbor who takes 3 turmeric supplements a day, your brother-in-law who pours soy sauce over his rice every single night. A single share could change the trajectory of someone's kidney health, and that is not an exaggeration. And let me ask you this directly. Have you made any of the mistakes we have covered so far without realizing it? Type yes in the comments if any of these surprised you. I read every comment personally, and I want to know your experience. Number 2. Processed bouillon cubes and powdered stock. If there is one seasoning habit I see in the kitchens of almost every patient over 60 I have ever visited, it is this one: the humble bouillon cube. Chicken bouillon, beef bouillon, vegetable bouillon. It sits in a little foil wrapper in the spice cabinet, and it feels like cooking, like something homemade, like something wholesome. It is not. A single standard bouillon cube contains between 900 and 1,200 milligrams of sodium. Some brands contain over 1,400. People use 2 or 3 cubes to make a soup or a stew that the whole family eats. 1 pot of soup made with 3 bouillon cubes can contain over 3,600 milligrams of sodium before a single additional ingredient is added. But the sodium is not even the only problem here. Commercial bouillon cubes and powdered stocks typically contain monosodium glutamate, which is MSG, along with hydrogenated oils, artificial color compounds, and various preservatives. Research published in Nutrients Journal found that chronic MSG consumption in adults over 60 was associated with increased urinary albumin excretion, which is a key early marker of kidney damage, at rates significantly higher than age-matched adults who avoided it. The kidneys process MSG just as they process any other nitrogen-containing compound. At low doses and with healthy kidneys, this is manageable. But when kidney function is already declining naturally with age, the added burden of processing concentrated MSG multiple times per week is meaningful. I remember James, a 74-year-old retired carpenter from Chicago. He came to see me about persistent fatigue and puffiness that his previous doctor had attributed entirely to aging. He was sleeping 9 hours a night and waking up exhausted. His legs felt heavy. His face looked puffy in the mirror every morning. James was a devoted cook. His wife had passed away 8 years earlier, and cooking had become his way of honoring her memory. He made her recipes exactly as she had written them, using the same bouillon cubes she had always used, 3 cubes per soup. Sometimes 4 for a heartier flavor. I did not want to take away the ritual that connected him to her, but I needed him to understand what was happening inside his body. I suggested he make one change: replace the bouillon cubes with homemade stock or with a no-salt-added commercial broth and add his own herbs for flavor. He resisted at first, but he tried it. 6 weeks later, he came back to my office and he said, "Doctor, I feel like someone turned the lights back on. The puffiness is gone. I have energy by noon instead of needing a nap. I still make her recipes. They still taste like her, but I feel like myself again." This was not aging. This was his kidneys finally getting the relief they had been begging for. And you can experience exactly the same thing. The swap: use homemade bone broth, no salt added commercial chicken or vegetable broth, or make your own simple flavor base with water, fresh garlic, fresh onion, bay leaves, thyme, and rosemary. The flavor is richer. The kidney burden is essentially zero, and the results you will feel are remarkable. Pro tip: Make a large batch of homemade stock on weekends and freeze it in ice cube trays. Then you have your own kidney-safe bouillon cubes ready to go anytime you need them. Are you ready for number one? This is the one I promised you at the beginning. The one sitting in almost every American kitchen. The one your doctor may have actually told you was good for your heart. And the one that, in my 15 years of clinical practice, I believe is doing more silent kidney damage in adults over 60 than almost any other single dietary ingredient. Number one. Table salt combined with hidden dietary sodium and the failure to hydrate sufficiently. I know. You might be thinking, salt? We just talked about salt in every single item on this list. But hear me out, because what I want to explain here goes beyond just eat less salt. It is about a specific and profoundly dangerous interaction that most adults over 60 are experiencing every single day and do not know it. Here is the complete picture. The average American consumes between 3,400 and 5,000 milligrams of sodium per day. The recommended maximum for adults over 60 with any kidney concern is 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams. Most seniors are consuming 2 to 3 times the safe amount. But the catastrophic part is not just the sodium itself. It is what happens to sodium-damaged kidneys when they are also chronically dehydrated. After 60, the thirst mechanism becomes significantly less reliable. Research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that adults over 65 show a substantially diminished thirst response compared to younger adults, meaning they become genuinely dehydrated before they ever feel thirsty. At the same time, many older adults deliberately restrict fluid intake to avoid nighttime bathroom trips, creating a perfect storm. High sodium intake combined with chronic mild dehydration forces the kidneys to filter increasingly concentrated blood through increasingly stressed tissue. Concentrated sodium plus dehydrated kidneys plus natural age-related decline in filtration capacity is the formula for accelerating kidney disease. And it is happening quietly in millions of homes right now. A landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine followed adults over 60 for 5 years and found that those who maintained adequate hydration of at least 6 to 8 glasses of water per day, combined with sodium intake below 2,000 milligrams, showed 43% lower rates of chronic kidney disease progression compared to matched adults who were either sodium excess or dehydrated or both. 43%. That is not a marginal finding. That is a life-changing finding, and almost nobody over 60 knows about it. Here is what I want you to understand about your urine. Your urine is a live report card from your kidneys every single day. If your urine is pale yellow to almost clear, your kidneys are relatively well hydrated, and the concentration of waste products is manageable. If your urine is dark yellow, amber, or orange, your kidneys are working in drought conditions, trying to filter concentrated toxins through dehydrated tissue. If your urine is foamy or has visible bubbles that persist after flushing, protein is leaking through damaged kidney filters. This is not normal. This requires medical attention. If you wake up tomorrow and your first morning urine is very dark, that is your kidneys telling you they went all night trying to filter blood with insufficient water. That is a problem you can start fixing tomorrow. I remember Linda, a 68-year-old retired nurse from Boston. Of all my patients, she is the one whose story I share most often, because she was someone who genuinely believed she understood health. She had spent her career in medicine. She was careful about what she ate. She exercised regularly. She had no idea her kidneys were in trouble. She came to me after her own doctor flagged some unusual numbers on her annual lab work. Her creatinine was elevated. Her GFR, which measures kidney filtration rate, had dropped significantly from the previous year. She was terrified. We went through everything. Her diet was genuinely good, low in processed foods, plenty of vegetables. But 2 things emerged. She was a heavy seasoning cook, and she deliberately restricted her fluids after 4 in the afternoon to avoid nighttime trips to the bathroom. She was consistently going to bed mildly dehydrated every single night. The combination of moderate salt use throughout the day, plus deliberate dehydration every single evening, was creating 8 to 10 hours of concentrated filtration stress on her kidneys every night for years. I gave her a simple protocol: reduce sodium to under 2,000 milligrams daily, using the swaps we have discussed throughout this video. And critically, drink a small glass of water, 6 to 8 ounces, at 7 in the evening, even if she needed to get up once during the night to urinate. The short-term inconvenience was worth the long-term kidney protection. 8 weeks later, her creatinine was back in normal range. Her GFR had recovered measurably. She told me with tears in her eyes, "Doctor, I spent 30 years taking care of other people. I had no idea I was destroying my own kidneys every single night. Thank you for explaining it in a way I could finally hear. This was not a miracle. This was her kidneys, finally supported instead of sabotaged. And you can experience exactly the same thing. Now let me tell you exactly how to implement everything we have covered today. Starting tomorrow morning. Your first step is a kitchen audit. Go through your spice cabinet and identify every item that contains sodium in its name or on its ingredient list. Garlic salt, onion salt, seasoned salt, any commercial blend, bouillon cubes, any packet seasoning, soy sauce, liquid aminos. These do not need to go in the trash immediately, but they need to stop being your primary flavor tools. Your replacement toolkit starts with these 5 things. Pure garlic powder with no added salt. Pure onion powder with no added salt. Oh, a sodium-free Italian herb blend, or make your own with dried basil, oregano, thyme, and rosemary. Fresh lemon and lime for finishing dishes. And homemade or no salt-added commercial broth. For hydration, start with this simple rule. Drink a full glass of water first thing in the morning before any coffee or food. Your kidneys have been working all night and they need to begin the day supported, not depleted. Then aim for a glass of water with every meal. And yes, 1 small glass in the early evening, 6 to 8 ounces. The potential mild disruption to your sleep is a worthwhile exchange for 8 fewer hours of kidney stress every night. Do not make these critical errors. First, do not try to eliminate sodium overnight. Gradual reduction is sustainable and more effective long-term than dramatic swings. Second, do not replace salt with sodium-containing salt substitutes that use potassium chloride without speaking to your doctor first. For people with kidney disease, excess potassium can be as dangerous as excess sodium. Third, do not stop drinking fluids in the afternoon if your current urine color is consistently dark. Dark urine is a medical signal that needs to be addressed, not accommodated. Your timeline for results. Within 3 days of reducing sodium and improving hydration, most people notice that morning facial puffiness begins to decrease. Within 1 week, ankle swelling often begins to improve and nighttime urination frequency may decrease. Within 2 weeks, energy levels typically improve as the kidneys become more efficient and blood pressure often begins to normalize. Within 1 month, if your doctor runs a kidney function panel, the numbers will often show measurable improvement. Within 3 months, the physical changes are often visible and unmistakable. Your body is not broken. Your seasoning habits were broken, and now you have the information to change them. Let me quickly recap what we covered today. Number 7, black pepper used excessively irritates kidney tissue over time. Number 6, commercial seasoning blends are hidden sodium bombs. Number 5, high-dose turmeric supplements combined with piperine create dangerous oxalate loads. Number 4, garlic salt and onion salt are primarily sodium in disguise. Number 3, soy sauce and liquid aminos deliver concentrated sodium in deceptively small portions. Number 2, bouillon cubes are among the most concentrated sodium and MSG sources in the average senior kitchen. And number 1, the devastating combination of excess sodium plus chronic mild dehydration that is accelerating kidney disease in millions of adults over 60 right now. Each one of these changes individually makes a difference. But when you combine them, when you replace the hidden sodium, rebuild your hydration habit, and start reading your urine for the signals it has always been sending you, the difference can be life-changing, not eventually, within weeks. Here is my challenge to you. Commit to 3 things for the next 30 days. Replace your top sodium seasoning source with a sodium-free alternative. Drink 1 glass of water first thing every morning. And check your urine color once a day as your personal kidney report card. Just 30 days. Track how you feel. Notice the changes. Your kidneys will thank you. Your blood pressure will thank you. Your sleep will thank you. And now I want to hear from you. Which of the 7 surprises on this list shocked you the most? Was it the turmeric supplements, the garlic salt, the bouillon cubes? Tell me in the comments. I genuinely read every single response, and your story may be exactly what another viewer over 60 needs to hear today. If this video helped you, please smash that like button. Subscribe so you never miss the straightforward senior health content we publish every week. And share this with someone in your life whose kidneys you care about. Because remember, aging does not take away your kidneys' ability to recover. It simply reminds you to stop working against them and start working with them. Take care of yourself.